students. This is the last chapter of the syllabus, that is organism and population. So, after this chapter, also the college reopens, and I see you at least for the revision classes. And this chapter includes that of the ecology. In ecology, there were four chapters, that is ecosystem, organism and population, biodiversity, and environmental issue. So in this, two topics are deleted from the recent information, that is the ecosystem and also environmental issue. And biodiversity and conservation, organism and population are the important chapter. So the left chapter is organism and population. So after a long time, I am coming in front of you in the camera, so that I believe I am fine and even you are fine. So represented that. So I am on the web camera. So I hope I see you very early, children. Try to like my slides in the form of notes, because this is an important chapter. It is also has a weightage in your blueprint for your annual examination. So in organism and population, we studying regarding the environment of the organism where it is living, the ecology, definition of the ecology, and also environment of organism means that is both the biotic factor and also abiotic factor we will be learning, and adaptation according to the abiotic factors, how organism are get adapted, and also we'll be learning about the population. So this all information we will be dealing with this PPT only. I hope you have understood the PPT of my classes. Try to write the slides in the form of notes, and it is completely NCERT only I have dealt it with. So if you write that and learn, it will become very easy for you. So separate PDF will not be left here. So PPT only, the slow way I'll be telling this chapter. Since it is last chapter, we will go in detail and try to understand every big point of the chapter. So if ecology, which was consisting of four chapters, if it is concise to two chapter means maximum importance will be given to the ecology, because here value based questions are more. So that's why let us get into the video. So coming to the ecology, what is ecology? Ecology is the study of interaction among the organism, between the organism and its physical environment. Means what? See, wherever we are living, the surrounding we are living about, that place or that habitat where we are being adapted, where we are surviving. So that environment we call it as an ecology. So that means what? The interaction between an organism with its environment. Okay, interaction between the organism and with its environment, we call it as a ecology. So when we consider ecology, ecology is concerned with the four level of biological organization, as you know, such as here I have shown in the slide as such. So here you can find here, that is organisms. So in ecology, there are four levels of biological organization. So why it has been classified means, see, when we consider an ecology, in an ecology, all these are important, such as a group of organism. When a group of organism, when it combine together and live in a particular place, we call it as a population. And the place where it lives, different populations, we call it as communities. The community exists in a geographical area, and the whole earth we call it as a biomes. So there are different types of biomes existing on the earth. So these are the usually four level of the biological organization. So whenever we study ecology, that does not mean we study only regarding the organism in human being and its existence in the abiotic factor. It means a different types of living organism. Okay, when we consider different type of living organism existing on this biosphere, how do they exist? So that's what we study in the ecology chapter. Yes, coming to the organism and its environment. See, as I told you, whenever we live in an ecosystem or an environment, see, we are having so many of angiosperm around us. That is, the plants are there, trees, flowering plants are there, trees are there, and different types of animals are there. And the animals with the organisms are with us, it balances in an ecosystem. So how do we get adapted to this environment? How we are surviving? In the same way, other organisms are also surviving in the same environment where it is being placed. That's what we call it as an ecology. So ecology means it is in a unit area only we can tell where an organism is satisfactorily existing, surviving itself. That what we call it as its own habitat. Okay, it is trying to exist with the ecological balance. Ecological balance means we have studied in the ecosystem, that is food web or food chain. So if one group of organism is lost, there also ecosystem is unbalanced. So an organism, how it gets adapted to its environment, maybe abiotic factor means water, soil, air. So if the climatic conditions, if all these are being sufficient, only an organism can exist in a normality way. Okay, that's what we study in the organism and its environment. So here, physiological ecology, ecology at the organism's level. Physiological ecology means the surrounding, not formology. Physiology means how the internally it accepts, how the organism accepts the weather, maybe the water availability might be, or the soil availability might be, the soil structure might be. Okay, so that depends upon the organism, that what we call it as physiological ecology. So ecology at the organic level is a study of adaptation of an organism to the environment in terms of survival and reproduction. So here what happens when an organism get adapted? What do you mean by adaptation? When an organism get adapted means it is able to survive and also able to reproduce. Means the breeding level of the organism is sufficient, so that it's a generation, it can build up its own community and it can exist in an environment. That what we call it as physiological ecology. So how far it get adapted to the environment, only we study regarding the physiological ecology as such. Okay, in this slide, I have tried to show you different types of biomes. Now, what is biome? The biome actually means it is an ecological category. It is a large regional or subcontinental biosystem characterized by a major vegetation type. Example here I have given a desert. So desert is a type of biome. Rainforest is a one of the biome. In the same way, tundra biome, and also they exist at tropical grassland biomes like this. So these biomes exist on the biosphere. That what I'm trying to tell you. All the earth terrestrial biomes and the aquatic system both together constitutes the biosphere on the global scale. So here we are trying to learn the different types of biome, how these biomes are being formed. So here the 2 points is being given over here. The first point tells that the rotation of the earth and the tilt of its axis causes annual variation. See, this word is very important. As far to the regard with the climatic or the conditions of the environment, depending upon the tilt of the earth. As the earth rotates, when the earth start rotating, there will be variation in the temperature, and also there will be change in the seasons. So accordingly, the biomes are being created. So the major biomes are the desert, the rainforest, and the tundra. They are being formed due to the variation in the precipitation and also due to the variation in the temperature, such as the rain and the snow. Now, the regional and local variation within a biome lead to the formation of the different habitats. See, there are two things to be understood here. One thing is the major thing, the formation of a biome. After a biome is formed, there will be local variation. See, when we refer the word annual variation, the annual variation is to tell the intensity of the sunlight and the variation of the temperature and variation in the precipitation, that is the rain and the snow. So this is a major variation. Due to the major variation, there is a formation of the biome. So when we consider a single biome, for example, in a desert,
So when we consider this as a single biome, there will be variation, local variation within a biome, which will lead to the different habitat. For example, in a desert, there might be oasis. In the oasis, there will be the presence of the water. So the animals near the oasis or the plants grown near the oasis might be different than that of the place where there is no availability of water. So the existence of the organism depends inside a biome, it depends upon the local variation. So that is regarding the different habitats existing in a one particular biome. So here we find how many types of biome. Once again I am repeating. So there are three types of biome arose according into this slide. So these three biomes are arose on the annual variation of, so that is what the three words I mentioned. One is intensity of the sunlight, and variation of the temperature, and also annual variation in the precipitation, that is regarding the rain. Okay, so this is graphical representation. This graphical representation tells the major biomes of India with respect to the annual temperature and the precipitation. So this side of the scale you can see here, this side which is telling the mean of the annual temperature, and this side of the graph tells us the mean of annual precipitation, which is measured in the centimeter. Here annual temperature is measured in the Celsius here. So here you can see the annual temperature. It starts from minus 15 degree and ends with the 30 degrees Celsius. Whereas the precipitation, that is the rainfall. Rainfall is been measured in the centimeter. It starts with the 50 centimeter and ends with the 450 centimeter. So here, the local and regional variation within each biome, as I told you, will lead to the formation of the wide variety of habitats. On the earth, the life exists in a few unfavorable habitats, and in some there may be extreme harsh habitat also. So here, when we consider this graph, when we consider this graph, graph, we try to understand the different biomes existing based on the comparison of the temperature and also with the comparison of the annual rainfall, which is in the centimeter. So here, the first one we will read about, that is Arctic and Alpine tundra. So when the Arctic and Alpine tundra you're seeing here, it exists between that is minus 10 degrees Celsius up to with the rainfall of how much, nearly 100 to 150 centimeters. So here the rainfall is very less. So the but has the rainfall is less also, but there is a minus Celsius. So what is the minus Celsius means? It is minus 50 up to nearly zero. That means it is a freezing condition, where in this place of Arctic and Alpine tundra, you know what type of animals might exist according to this environment. So next, coming to the next is coniferous forest. When we refer the coniferous forest, here you can see the temperature starts with the zero and it ends with the nearly some 14 13 to 14 CR. So this is regarding the coniferous forest. So the coniferous forest has a temperature which is a balanced temperature, where you can see the growth rate also will be more, because both the temperature and also the rainfall is being balanced. So in this balanced condition, the vegetation is quite enormous vegetation we find, with that of the even animals, that is flora and fauna, are quite satisfactory in the coniferous forest, we can tell. So how much is the rainfall means? The rainfall is nearly, see here you can see this line I am drawing to show you the rainfall. It is nearly from 50 to 250 centimeter. Means the temperature and also the rainfall are in such an adequate rate, where the organism existing also is to the adequate rate in the coniferous forest. Now, thirdly, we are referring to the desert region. So, coming to the desert region, see here, in the desert region, the temperature is above the 0 degree. So, it starts from somewhere by 5 degrees Celsius up to nearly some 25 degrees Celsius. So near up to 25-degree means it is quite hot region, and the rainfall is said to be nil over here. So it is below 50 centimeter, not completely nil. The rainfall is very less. So at this condition, the organism existing in the desert get adapted to that type of what do you tell, the temperature, and also the less the unit of humidity over there. So in this condition, what happened? The organism, the vegetation, both flora and fauna existing will be quite lesser compared to the coniferous forest. According to the vegetation, only the graph is being represented here. So then the next is grassland. See, so the grassland is the one which bears with two types within the temperate forest and also the coniferous forest it accumulates. That is the grassland. So grassland has an picturization of four types of biomes. One is a little bit of a desert climatic climate also. It has little bit of coniferous also it has. With that, it has a little bit of that of the temperate forest. So the rainfall, when we consider here, the rainfall starts from the 50 nearly up to some say 90. Okay, so it is a compensation we can tell with that of the rest of the biome here. Which one? The grassland. So the grassland has a moderate vegetation we can tell, where the temperature is nearly some 0 degree up to the 25 degrees Celsius. That is means it is also completely hot nearing to the desert. With that, it has a rainfall. So there is a acceptation of the vegetation which leads to the grassland biome. So the next is a tropical forest. So tropical forest is a where we can tell even the forest with the evergreen. So evergreen forest means both flora and fauna are quite more here, and also we see the quite good vegetation over here. Why means though there is a high temperature also, the rainfall is more here. Means this is a forest where there is a continuous rain, and also there are quite canopies also in this forest. Vegetation is quite adequate as there is a presence of the rainfall. So the rainfall is quite maxima. It exists here. I have drawn a line. It exists between the 50 to nearly some 420 to 430 centimeter. That means rainfall is quite heavy in the tropical forest, and the temperature is between the 20 to 25 degrees Celsius, which is a very good temperature for the growth of the plants and also for the development of the organism. It also helps in the reproduction, breeding. As there is a quite a canopies, there will be more microorganism grown below the canopy as there is no entry of the sunlight. Then coming to the temperate forest. So this is the last one I am telling. So the temperate forest here, temperate forest is a very satisfactory forest here, where the temperature is between nearly 10 degree to see, 20 to 21 to 22 degrees Celsius. Means the temperature is not so very hot. See, as in the desert, if the temperature is quite more. So here what happens, some of the species which needs a minimum temperature, it cannot survive because enzymatic activity will become a denaturization. That's why in the desert we find the less organism. Whereas when we read about the temperate or tropical forest, we also find many types of insects, then many type of microorganism enormously grown, because the rain is more below the canopy. When there is a rain and also high temperature, the warmthness will emerges the more of the microorganisms, maybe the fungi also, and sorry, the bacteria, most of the growth of algae also we find. So like this, the vegetation is very in the peak rate, since there is a very good rainfall seen. So in the temperate forest, you can see the presence of the good temperature and also the rainfall, which accommodates nearly 250 degree, 250 centimeter. The rainfall is also more, and also the temperature is more. So at this range, the vegetation is also more. Both flora and fauna exist in these places. So this is regarding the graphical representation distribution of the biome based on the annual temperature and also the rainfall, that is precipitation. Okay. So next, when we compare the life existing even in an extreme and harsh habitat, that is Rajasthan desert and rain-soaked Meghalaya forest. So these two are the biomes of India, which are the major examples only we can tell. So when we refer to this in the deep oceans, trenches maybe, or also we can give example of polar regions, high mountains. So here what happened, the biotic components such as the pathogen, parasites, predators and the competitors. In addition to this, the flora and fauna, these organisms are adapted to survive and reproduce in their habitat. See, we are giving a two comparison habitat, where both are extreme and harsh habitat, where one place is completely always there is a rain soaked Meghalaya forest, means the rain is continuous over there, whereas in Rajasthan desert there is no rain. So the adaptation of the organism in both the region is different, quite different. Here there is no availability of water. Here the availability of water is more enormous. Here sunlight is more, here sunlight is less. So depending upon the availability of the abiotic factor, the existence of the organism also varies over there. Now, when we tell in our ecosystem, different organisms are confined to different habitat. The places where a species can live and interact with its ecosystem is called to be as a ecological niche. In the same way, see here also when we consider desert as an ecological niche, the camel exists. It tries to adapts itself to that environment, and it try to interact with its ecosystem, and which that place when a species live and interact with its own ecosystem only, we call it as ecological niche. Okay. Next, so here the life exists in a extreme harsh habitat. The another two examples means that what I told you, deep ocean trenches and also torrential streams. See, when we consider all these things, what we try to understand, I'm trying to tell the place where a species will live and interact within its ecosystem is a ecological niche means. For example, I can tell you in the niche of a habitat in the grassland or in an open woodland, it is a herbivorous animal. It will start eating what is its food, the grasses, vegetables, leaves, etc. Its digging activities of soil and adding fecal pellets into the soil alters the psychochemical properties of the soil also. Rabbit is eaten by carnivores like fox, dog, etc. This interaction of the rabbit with the environment forms a part of the nature of a rabbit. In the same way, we are giving the a extreme condition of the habitat. In this extreme condition of habitat, there are different various type of organism which are adapted to this extreme habitat. That does not mean there is no organism in these places. There are existing organism, but they are adapted to such a extreme habitat. So that's what we are trying to tell you. There are four types. Rajasthan desert means immediately in our mind comes is camel, how it is adjusted, how it is adapted. When we tell rain-soaked Meghalaya forest, we imagine the usually big trees, that is the gymnosperms, pteridophytes. These are the trees which we don't find in our place. So each vegetation also depends upon the environment where it is existing. Now coming to the deep ocean trenches, here are the some of the organism which cannot get existed in the riverbed. Then torrential streams. In the torrential streams where the water is continuously flowing also, we find many type of organism existing, getting adapted to that type of flow of water. So that what I told you, each biome is different. So there is a organism which fight itself with that of the abiotic factors and exist in these harsh habitats. Okay. So another two more we have added, that is permafrost snow laden, that is polar region. So when we consider polar region, what comes in our mind? Here is a beautiful picture, that is a penguin and also polar bear. Accordingly to the snow, they get adapted. Now we cannot suddenly go and land over the snow where the penguin is living, and we cannot survive over there. So the organism has to exist means it get adapted to that environment, and all these habitat, when we consider, they are said to be the extreme and the harsh habitat wherein a normal temperature body organism cannot exist over there. Then high mountain tops. So when usually the mountain climbers, they climb the mountain only, they have an high altitude problem, because there is will be less of oxygen over there. So in such high mountain tops also, there will be some of the flora, that is plants grown in these high mountains at the tops, means according to that temperature or the availability of the humidity, the vegetation exists. So these are said to be quite harsh habitat. Okay. Then coming to the thermal springs, whenever we talk about the thermal springs, there are many organisms we have seen which exist in the thermal spring, like algae might be, or even bacteria, archaebacteria. When you have studied in the first year, you remember even that exist in the this kind of the hot springs. So that what we tell you, in the more than 50 degrees, certain bacteria, bacteria, seeds, spores, protozoans, which can occur in hot springs of nearly 60 degree to 90 degrees Celsius, and in the deep sea of the hydrothermal region where the temperature exceeds 100 degrees Celsius. So most of the organisms will be killed at the high temperature due to denature of enzymes, while the others are killed by the low temperature also. So some organism can exist in the high temperature of the thermal spring. Some organism may get killed by the low temperature. If the organism which exists in the thermal springs, immediately you put them into the low temperature area, then the organism may get denatured, they may die. So due to the freezing of the body fluid, except some of the dry seeds, cyst, which have no water at all, may exist. But that what if there is a change in the environment also, survivability questions over there. That does not mean any organism can go and live in any way, anywhere. That what I am trying to tell. Our even our body is said to be one of the habitat, where our intestine is an habitat for many microbes. So if the condition, if the environmental condition of the in our intestine is a normal, the existence of that microbes occurs. If there is some variation in our habitat also, sometimes there may be denature of the enzymes of such microbes, the microbes get killed also. Then the last one is compost pits also. In the compost pits also, the habitat is it is a habitat for most of the wormy worms, such as earthworm. So it might need a good moisture rating, a warmthness. So this all are the condition which we call the extreme habitat. So these are the different types of the habitat where there is a existence of life we are trying to tell you. See, so the when there is the psychochemical components such as that is abiotic factor, which are the abiotic factor which influences the biotic organism, means that is water, light, temperature, soil, etc. And the biotic components which interacts with that of the abiotic factor. Biotic components means the organism which exists in an environment is a pathogen. It might be parasites, predators, competitors, etc. So they lead to the variation of the different habitat. Means there might be a change in the local variation in a particular biome. So what is the ecology? Means that what I told you, an organism interacting with its environment. So what in an environment, organism is said to be the biotic factor. So when it interacts with the abiotic factors such as water, light, temperature, and soil, that what we call it as ecology. So here we are trying to study the variation occurring in a different habitat. Then the distinct role and position of an organism in its environment is called an nature. By this, each organism will tolerate various conditions, utilizes the various resources. So that what one example of rabbit I told you. So how it will utilize itself, its own environment, and how it becomes a resourceful in its habitats. Okay. Okay, so this is a different types of abiotic factors such as temperature, water, light, and soil. So after explaining the organism and its environment, now in detail we will try to learn the temperature, water, light, and soil, where we will try to understand the effect of the temperature on the both flora and fauna, and types of organism existing or getting adapted according to the temperature in the different biomes. In the same way, we will be considering with that of the water, light, and the soil in the next class. So try to understand the video by seeing it at least more than 2 times, and try to write the slides in the form of notes. So the notes in the form of PDF I will not be giving. So each slide is referred to that of the NCERT textbook. So according to that only I have been explained. So all the slides you have to write in your fair book as a notes. Okay, thank you, children.